A sequential program processes data one instruction at a time, halting entirely if a single task takes too long. Splitting the workload into parallel streams solves this, allowing software to execute multiple operations at once. This requires the use of a thread. A thread is the smallest sequence of programmed instructions that an operating system scheduler can manage and dispatch to the CPU. Consider a standard web browser. When you open it, the operating system allocates memory and launches a single browser process to contain the application. Multithreading splits that single process so it can execute multiple distinct functions at the exact same time. This diagram shows the browser process dividing into specific concurrent tasks. One thread operates to render the user interface. A second thread handles network requests to load the web page. A third thread executes the JavaScript. If the browser relied on a single thread, the entire application would freeze every time it waited for a large image to download or a script to finish populating. Concurrency prevents those freezes. This diagram displays the architectural boundary inside an operating system. The top half is user space, where applications run. The bottom half is kernel space, the highly privileged core of the OS. The threads operating entirely above this line are user-level threads. Software libraries within the application create and manage them, and the operating system kernel is completely unaware they exist. Because the kernel is not involved in their management, creating a user-level thread or switching the CPU between them is exceptionally fast. Below the line are kernel-level threads. The operating system creates, manages, and directly schedules these threads onto the physical CPU cores. Interacting with the kernel requires system calls. This adds heavy management overhead, making kernel threads significantly slower to create and schedule than their user space counterparts. Because user threads do not inherently equal kernel threads, they operate in disconnected domains. Software generates user threads, but hardware only executes kernel threads. To translate the high-speed concurrency of the application down to the physical execution of the processor, the operating system requires a strict mathematical mapping model. This diagram maps 4 separate user threads down into exactly one shared kernel thread. This is the many-to-one model, utilized in early systems like Java green threads. The application's user space library handles all the scheduling. The kernel is oblivious to the 4 separate tasks and only sees a single thread of execution. By keeping the operating system out of the loop, thread management consumes minimal memory and avoids expensive kernel transitions. The design fails when one of the user threads, like T2, executes an I/O request, such as reading a file from a disk, which forces it to wait. Because the kernel is executing the entire process through a single thread, when T2 waits for the disk, the kernel pauses the entire execution. Threads T1, T3, and T4 are immediately blocked. Even if the computer has a multi-core processor, the many-to-one model can only ever schedule its single kernel thread onto one physical core at a time. It lacks true parallelism. The minimal overhead cannot compensate for a design where a single delayed network request freezes the entire application. This diagram illustrates the one-to-one model. Each user thread maps directly to its own dedicated kernel thread, bypassing the bottleneck entirely. This architecture provides true parallelism. The operating system schedules each kernel thread onto a separate physical core, allowing multiple parts of the application to execute simultaneously. If one thread blocks to wait for an I/O operation, the operating system simply lets the other independent kernel threads continue their processing without interruption. The drawback is the immense weight placed on the operating system. Creating a user thread now requires the OS to create a corresponding kernel thread. This consumes significant memory and CPU cycles for management, forcing systems to impose hard limits on the total number of active threads. The one-to-one model secures hardware-level parallelism and prevents application-wide freezes, but it exacts a high toll in kernel resource consumption. This diagram details the many-to-many model, designed to multiplex numerous user threads down onto a smaller pool of kernel threads. Multiplexing is a method of combining multiple active inputs into a smaller set of shared output channels. The operating system continuously monitors hardware availability, dynamically adjusting exactly how many kernel threads it allocates to the application at any given moment. It achieves true concurrency because a blocked thread doesn't halt the whole system, while keeping memory overhead low by capping the total number of kernel threads. A variation called the two-level model allows engineers to take this multiplexed system and bind specific high-priority user threads directly to their own dedicated kernel threads for guaranteed performance. Maintaining this dynamic mapping requires extreme algorithmic complexity. Operating systems like older versions of Solaris and IRIX struggled with the intricate logic needed to constantly shuffle threads without causing execution errors. The many-to-many model optimizes physical resources flawlessly on paper. In practice, the sheer algorithmic difficulty of balancing the dynamic mapping creates massive engineering friction. This matrix evaluates the three models against the strict requirements of a modern operating system. The many-to-one model fails to utilize multi-core parallelism and crashes to a halt when a single thread blocks. The many-to-many model solves the execution problems, but its architecture introduces a prohibitive level of code complexity. The one-to-one model guarantees parallelism and isolates blocking threats. Its sole penalty is the high overhead of continuous kernel involvement. Operating system designers must decide which penalty they can tolerate: blocking an entire application, unmanageable code complexity, or heavy resource overhead. For general-purpose operating systems like Linux and Windows, the debate is settled. They default almost exclusively to the one-to-one model. Concurrency allows multiple tasks to make progress by rapidly switching between them on a single core. Parallelism requires multiple cores to execute separate tasks at the exact same time. Because multi-core processors are now standard in modern hardware, an operating system must provide true hardware-level parallelism. Modern hardware possesses enough memory and processing power to absorb the high overhead of managing individual kernel threads. Developers trade system resources for absolute predictability and stability. Software cannot run efficiently if it is disconnected from the hardware. The mathematical mapping between user space and kernel space is the definitive layer dictating an application's speed, its concurrent behavior, and the ultimate performance of the system.